the edge of a quiet American town, one that never showed up on maps, stood an old stone well. Nobody dared to look into it after dark. It didn't ask for coins. It asked for secrets. And on the first night, a traveller named Ethan Carter came to town. The well whispered his name. 1. The warning. Ethan was just passing through, backpack heavy, shoes dusty, heart heavier than both. He found the only inn on Main Street, where the owner, Mr. Harris, handed him a key and muttered, "Don't stay up late. And for God's sake, don't go near the well." An older woman sweeping her porch added, "That well doesn't keep water. It keeps what people throw away. Their dreams, their voices, their courage." Ethan tried to laugh it off. "What's a dream doing in a well?" Her broom froze mid-sweep. "Waiting." 2. The whisper. That night, Ethan lay awake in his room. The town was silent, too silent, like it was holding its breath. And then he heard it. A voice rose through the floorboards, sliding across the pillow like smoke. "Ethan!" He bolted upright. Nobody in town knew his name. The whisper came again, patient as water. "Come find what you've lost." Ethan's chest tightened. Months earlier, he'd walked away from someone he loved, Emily, too stubborn to listen, too proud to stay. Ever since, he'd carried silence, heavier than stone, and now the well was calling it out. He pulled on his boots, lit a candle, and stepped outside. The streets were dark, shutters drawn tight. The square lay empty, except for the black circle of the well, waiting. 3. The descent. The rope creaked as Ethan lowered himself into the stone throat. The candle flame trembled but held. Down, down, deeper, until the air grew damp and the sky above shrank to a coin of light. Finally his boots touched the bottom. No water, just fog. It curled around him like forgotten breath. Shapes began to form in it, shadows that almost looked like people. One stepped forward, a painter's easel with an unfinished sunrise glowing faintly on canvas. "I was left behind," the shadow whispered. "She promised to finish me one day, but she got too busy." Ethan touched the canvas. The colours warmed under his hand, alive again. "Come with me," he said softly. The candle burned a little brighter. 4. The forgotten. He walked on. More shadows gathered. A toy boat with paper sails rocked gently on invisible waves. A violin hummed a half-finished lullaby. A stack of sealed letters rustled. "We were written, but never sent." Ethan's throat tightened. Every shadow was someone's abandoned dream, echoing in the dark. And then he heard a small voice. "Sir, do you remember me?" On the ground sat a red wooden wagon, chipped and old. "I remember sticky hands pushing me," it whispered. "Then he grew up. Said he didn't have time for silly things anymore. So he left me here." Ethan knelt. "Everyone grows up. But some things we're not supposed to drop." The wagon's wheels glowed faintly, ready to roll again. The candle swelled golden and proud. The shadows followed him like children waiting to go home. 5. The keeper. At the end of the fog stood a door without a wall. Beside it waited a tall figure cloaked in midnight, face blurred like smoke. "I am the keeper," it said in a voice like distant thunder. "You want to take these dreams back, but everything carried has weight. Can you bear it?" Ethan gripped the candle tighter. I can try." The keeper's head tilted. "Even the dream you really came for." The door creaked open. Inside wasn't a room, but a sky, stars spilling across endless black. And there, pulsing like a heartbeat, was the light Ethan knew. Emily's voice, the one he lost by not listening. His throat closed. "I'm sorry," he whispered into the glowing silence. "I thought love meant being right. I thought silence was safer than honesty. I was wrong." The light drifted closer. It didn't take Emily's shape. It became a small flame that wove itself into his candle, steady and unbreakable. The keeper bowed. Then carry it forward, not back, forward. 6. The ascent Ethan climbed, one hand over the other, rope groaning but holding. The candle lit the carvings scratched into the walls, names of townsfolk who had given up too soon. When he reached the top, dawn had begun to stretch over the square. The candle flame still burned, only now it carried every dream he had gathered. The boat, the violin, the wagon, the letters, and Emily's voice pulsing steady inside. 7. The return. The villagers stepped out of their houses, eyes widening. The old woman gasped as a jar of seeds rolled into her palm. She whispered, "My garden!" and hurried to plant them right there in the square. The toy boat nudged a young mason's knee. He remembered carving it as a boy, and his hands itched to build again. The violin floated to Mr. Harris, the innkeeper. His wife had passed years ago, and he'd locked away the music they once played together. Now, trembling, he drew the bow across the strings. The note that rang out was clear, aching, alive. The square filled with sound, not noise, but honesty, the kind people forget to make. A child tugged Ethan's sleeve. "Mister, is the well cursed?" Ethan shook his head. "No, it's honest. It keeps what we abandon. But nothing's gone forever, if we're willing to carry it." Carry forward. By afternoon the square was alive. Laughter, plans, a mason sketching bridges in chalk. The old woman watering her seeds. The innkeeper humming a song he thought he'd lost. Ethan sat on the stone rim of the well, notebook open, pen finally moving. He wrote, "Dreams are heavy, but silence is heavier. Love isn't about being right, it's about returning. And if you drop something worth carrying, you can always pick it up again." That night, as the town settled into a new kind of quiet, Ethan stood by the well one last time. "Thank you," he whispered. The well whispered back, soft as wind in the trees, "Carry forward." He smiled, blew out the candle, and walked on beneath a sky rinsed clean with stars, ready for the road, ready to listen, ready to carry. The end.